Good morning. I'm not sure. Oh, there we go. Good morning, everybody. Happy Monday. Let me just get this set up also because we do like to go live times two up in here. So happy Monday. Hope everybody had a fantastic weekend, an Easter weekend. It was a pretty uh, profoundly reflective weekend for me. And as you may know, if you saw my live video on Facebook yesterday, I had no intention really of going live yesterday, but I was really moved to connect with you guys yesterday as I was in this space of reflection about, the spirit of Easter and what that really means, despite not being a particularly religious person. Anyway, I wanted to talk today about radical resilience in the context of business and leadership, as we do every Monday at 9:30. And, as I was meditating about, what to share with you guys today, it occurred to me that there was something I needed to talk about first. So, hey guys, I see you on Facebook, or rather on Instagram Live, although we're on both platforms right now. So I just wanted to give a shout out to people who are jumping on live. What's going on? I see you, Shanti. So I was thinking about, these practices that I do with my team before we start a meeting. And it really sets the stage for a productive meeting because it allows for all of us to get really present. But it occurred to me that the reason those practices work with my team is that we have a foundation of trust, that we've created a safe container for conversations like that to be had. And so what I want to talk about today is what are some things that you can begin to do right now, even in the midst of social distancing and remote working, to support your in creating a greater foundation of trust. Now, maybe some of you are solopreneurs. You're like, well, I don't really have a team. Maybe you're not even necessarily in the position of leading a team of any kind, but you're a parent. So, even though we focus on radical resilience in the context of business on Mondays, I want to emphasize that these themes are cross-contextual, that we can take these things that apply to how we would operate inside of our team and apply them to families and other dynamics, and vice versa when we talk on Wednesdays about radical resilience in the context of family and relationships and overall well-being, that you can take those themes and bring them over here as well. We just, kind of like to focus in a little bit more on how this operates inside of leadership and teams on Mondays. So, foundation of trust. Well, for an individual to experience a level of safety and trust, there needs to be some amount of interest on the part of the leader of that organization or of that particular team in getting to know them. And I know we've talked in past live videos about, making sure that you know your team's mission, vision, and values, that you don't just know that for your company, but that you know that for your team. But I can't emphasize how important it is to really take the time to look at those mission, vision, and values and get acquainted with your team. So outside of knowing what their values are, it's important to know what motivates them. What is, it's a term I learned from my colleagues over at Concilio. What is their primary motivating factor? In other words, what is it that's getting them up out of bed every day? Is it their family? Is it the fact that they're trying to put their kids through college? Is it, that they want to, be able to buy a home? Is it that, they have some, big family vacation that they're planning for? What is it about, what they're doing that's driving them? What is their big primary motivating factor? And so the key here is, not just to go through the exercise of getting to know your team's, personal mission statements, their vision for their lives and their values, but to actually begin to utilize that information to create a sense of connection with them, to create a sense of, them really understanding that you have a genuine interest in their lives. So as leaders, I think sometimes we can get so, and as parents, we can get so wrapped up in making sure that the job gets done, or that, I don't have kids, but, I look at it through the context of parenting, and what I witness really great parents doing. And where I see the pitfalls sometimes is sometimes we get so wrapped up in, are you getting the job done? Like, are the deliverables coming in the time that you said they were going to? Like, are we hitting the marks? Like, are we operating the way we're supposed to as a company? But we neglect that the people who are making that happen are people, and they have lives, and they have fears, and they have desires, and they have things that really matter to them. And so as leaders, it's really our responsibility to get to know what those things are. Hi, Susan. I see you, lovely. And hi, Karen. I see you too. So, what I'm saying is, take the time to get to know your team. So if you haven't yet acquired from them, their personal mission statement, sort of like, why is it that they feel compelled to be at work or be a part of this organization, what their vision is for their lives, like what's their bigger, goal, and their values. Get to know those things and get to know what really drives them. Like, what is it that motivates them to come to work or to work for you, and take a genuine interest in them so that you can begin to build this foundation of safety and trust, where they feel like, wow, this person who is the head of this organization, or who is, effectively my boss, actually cares about me outside of the work that I'm doing for them. Because when you have that, you can begin to implement some other strategies, which I will give you next week, but you can begin to implement some other strategies that allow for a greater level of presence. And of course, we know that with presence, we have greater productivity, and ultimately things just operate more efficiently. So that's my little nugget for you for today, which is get to know the people in your team, get to know them, step into their model of the world, which kind of goes to what we were talking about last week. Get to know them, get to know what drives them, get to know what their primary motivating factor is, what their values are, and begin to utilize that information to convey to them that you have taken a genuine interest in them, in their lives, and in their well-being, right? Especially right now, I think that is so, so important. So as always, there is so much more I could give you. There's so much more to this, in terms of creating trust and safety inside team dynamics. I'm happy to support you in whatever way I can. PM me if you want some more information, or if there's other ways that I can be of service to you. It's Monday, so that means that another Radical Resilience podcast episode dropped today. It's a really, really good one, y'all. If you haven't checked out the podcast, jump over to Radical Resilience, the podcast, available on any of your favorite podcast platforms. Be sure to listen, subscribe, share. We've got an awesome contest going on right now, where if you share and you tag me in that share, you'll be entered to win you'll be entered in one drawing to win a gift card. But if you share and you rate and review and you take a screenshot and send that to us, we'll enter you into a second contest, and you can win up to $75 on Amazon. And who doesn't love Amazon these days, right? We just, really want to show our love for you guys and our appreciation. So anyway, that's what I have for you today. Continue to have an amazing rest of your week. I'll be back with you on Wednesday with my dear friend, Susan Palmer Wood. We're actually going to do a little side-by-side Facebook Live and talk about radical resilience and parenting, because it's, really present for a lot of people right now, because they are at home with their children trying to be parents and teachers and, entrepreneurs, and, get their work done in whatever capacity they can. So join us on Wednesday at 9:30 a.m. for that. All right, that's it. That's all I have for you, beauties. From my heart to yours, with so much love, light, and aloha. Namaste.